Thank you for joining us on Business Now. I am Frank Omalape. Large consignments of premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, being imported by major oil marketers are to hit Nigeria from next week and may force down the price of the commodity, both major and independent dealers stated on Sunday. It was also gathered that crude oil refiners were currently releasing refined petroleum products on credit to dealers from Nigeria following the recent unification of the country's exchange rate, which boosted the confidence of operators. This came as the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria said they will compete with the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited on the importation of petrol, stressing that this could or would crush the cost of PMS. In the meantime, the Nigeria Labour Congress is set to engage President Bola Tinubu on the agitation for extension of civil servants' retirement age to 65 years. The union's national president, Joe Ajaero, said Labour was not relenting on the agitation, which started under the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari. The NLC had, during the 2023 May Day celebrations, appealed to Buhari to extend the retirement age for civil servants. But then the Minister of State for Labour in the former administration, Festus Keyamo, said Buhari in the tweet light of his administration would not be able to deal with the matter. The federal government is set to make about 12 billion naira a year from the 1,000 proof of ownership certificate verification fee motorists are to pay. Last week, the Permanent Secretary, Lagos Ministry of Transportation, Abdul Hafiz Toriola, disclosed this. He stated that this certificate will help vehicle owners and the government ensure the integrity of all vehicles registered on the National Vehicle and Identification Scheme database and track car theft and recovery of stolen vehicles. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, there are 11.76 million vehicles in Nigeria as of the second quarter of 2018, and the vehicle per population ratio was put at 0.06 for the period. Per various reports, Nigeria imports about 400,000 vehicles annually. And away from there now, more Nigerians have continued to lament the harsh economic realities faced in the country since the removal of fuel subsidy. The respondents are calling on President Bola Tinubu to act fast in implementing policies that will urgently cushion the effect of the hardship. We'll bring you more details in our subsequent bulletins. Away from the now, the World Bank has projected that inflation may hit about 25% in 2023 as a result of petrol subsidy removal. This projection was contained in the June 2023 edition of the Nigeria Development Update. However, the Washington-based bank noted that although there will be a significant increase in 2023, headline inflation will fall by the first quarter of 2024. The World Bank report also noted that consumer price inflation has surged and is currently one of the highest globally, which is related to Nigeria's fiscal imbalance and points to the urgency of reform efforts. So other stories now, point of sale agents in Lagos State will soon begin to charge customers 500 naira for 10,000 naira cash withdrawals. This is after the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria, Lagos chapter, announced a new price list for POS transactions Friday. Adeoye said the chairman of the Lagos chapter of the association, David Abiodun, recently released the new price list to ESCOs at a symposium. He noted that the purpose of the list was to curb the activities of agents that still overcharging their customers. The federal government spent about $62.66 million to service railway-related debts in the first quarter of 2023, according to Nigeria's External Debt Service Payments report by the Debt Management Office. Between January and March 2023, the Nigeria Railway Modernization Project, Ido Kaduna section, took about $23.1 million. The Nigerian Railway Modernization Project from Lagos-Ibadan section got about $15.49 million, while the Nigeria-Abuja Light Rail Project got in about $24.07 million. The total amount spent in the first quarter of this year is a slight increase from the $61.73 million spent in the first quarter of 2022. Determined to pave the way for efficient operations at the port, the Nigerian Port Authority has commenced the evaluation of overtime cargoes at the port. A statement by NMPA said that the moves to evacuate overtime cargoes at the port were intensified when the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Transportation, Magdalene Ajani, led an interagency team comprising the Nigerian Customs and the Nigerian Shippers Council on an assessment tour of overtime cargoes littering the port. The statement also said that overtime Lagos and Tinkan Island port complexes and the terminals, including the Ikorodu Lighter Terminal, have been occupied with about 3,200 units of overtime cars and about 3,295 units of overtime containers, respectively, while the eastern ports have a combined total of 956 overtime containers.
The national